What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 172nd edition of the Sports Reality. My name is Jeremy John, a.k.a. the fourth greatest Grenadian of all time.
Perfect.
A.k.a. the Lil Wayne of podcasts, because I will get on any podcast and hit it with the J Train.
Perfect.
Let's welcome my co-host, Cousin BigThad, a.k.a. the gatekeeper of the DMV,
Perfect.
a.k.a. the unofficial mayor of Prince George's County.
Perfect.
What's going on with you, my man?
Ain't nothing. Same old. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while, a few weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Hey.
Yes. It's so what happened the last 2 weeks? Let's start with me.
All right.
2 weeks ago, my wife was having some car troubles.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm gonna have to go switch cars with her then, since I had the more stable car. It was just the battery, but we just switched cars. But I was like, yep, I don't have enough time to go to where she is, bring the car back, and then all of that stuff. So we didn't have it 2 Thursdays ago. Then last Thursday, we both were pretty busy.
Right.
You more busy than me. What were you doing?
Yeah. So, I completely forgot what day it was, to be honest with you, what day of the week it was. So, I actually thought it was Wednesday. And then my iPhone calendar notification popped up. It was like, yo, 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. You have an event. And I was like, wait, that's tomorrow. Oh, no, it's today. You know what I'm saying? So, what it was a fire department fundraiser for muscular dystrophy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a big national softball tournament that I DJ at every year. But last year we didn't have because of COVID.
Yeah.
But this year, they said we on. You know what I'm saying? So had that Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So did that, made some change. You know what I'm saying? It was fun. There was some wild moments. What was it? Yeah, Thursday was cool. You know what I'm saying? Friday night, which was more the big kickoff. All the teams were in town. Like Thursday night, some were there, but Friday everybody was there.
Okay.
So that was pretty good. It was. You saw some. How can I explain it? White peopleness.
Perfect.
Because they definitely like to do the line dances. But
it's an evil world we live in.
But could never do it. So that happened. It was terrible. I'm dying laughing. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the night, I ended up having to cuss some folks out because, they had me make an announcement like, hey, guys, can you help clean up, your beer cans and whatnot that's all stacked on the tables. There's trash cans. There's literally, look, so we're in the pavilion, right, where I'm DJing. And there's like high top tables where everybody can sit around and drink and whatnot. And on the outside of the pavilion, there's literally a trash can and a recycle bin, like every 2 feet. And it's literally surrounding the pavilion.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, can you do us a favor? You know what I'm saying? Can you pick up your trash right there and just throw it in the receptacles right next to you? Like it's literally like 2 feet from your table. And everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy.
They ain't got no home training, man.
Nah, so of course I wild out because I could see people looking at me crazy, but I could see people mouthing off too. And I don't deal with that disrespect. So I wild out and I was like, I cussed folks out, and like the staff at the end of the joint, the staff was just like, yo, you're awesome. Like even the cops that were there were all dying laughing, and because we're at the park, so the park police was there. They're dying laughing, me cussing these folks out.
Yeah, man. These people ain't got home training, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm
simple
saying?
Things like, hey, let's just all clean up so we can all go home sooner. Nah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we can leave quick and get out. You know what I'm saying? But Saturday night was dope. a lot more folks were there. And this time with the line dances, because I was worried, this time with the line dances, you had DC folks and Baltimore City folks over there. So,
okay.
Yeah, they were the black folks. And they were there, and they, of course, they doing the joint, right? And you know how black folk would do the wobble.
Yeah.
They don't do the regular wobble. You know what I'm saying? They do the with the little twists and turns and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And you should have seen some of these folks like try to keep up with them.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most hilarious thing I ever seen in my life. But it was fun though. It was a good time. That night I did not have to cuss nobody out. Like they were already putting away trash and stuff at the end of the night anyways.
Oh, they had heard about you.
Oh yeah, they knew. They didn't want that the second night.
It was like, yo, that DJ over there.
Yeah.
He's out here, flexing his muscles.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, funny thing is I was setting up and some folks from the previous night came up and was like, yo, we didn't know if you were gonna come back. I was like, yeah, I'm getting paid to do this.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be here. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I cussing people out, that's a whole nother night. Today's a new day.
I was doing my job.
Right. But no, other than that, I'm good, man. Everything's been good. Everything good with you?
Yeah, man. I had to be a teacher's aide at the alma mater today.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. You just gotta, these new age teenagers. Let me tell you something, man. I don't know, man. Like, we couldn't dare have headphones on when we were in high school. I know for sure when you were in high school, you couldn't even flash a cell phone like anywhere.
A cell phone, son?
Yeah.
I ain't had cell phones then.
I was hoping
we had. Well, I mean,
you had probably one or two very privileged friends that had cell phones.
They had a cell phone, right?
Yeah.
And they could only use it literally to call their parents, because any other time you use it, you were getting charged for that.
Yep.
Joint. So no, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think we had pager. Well, we had pagers.
Yeah,
out
you
I don't
definitely
think,
had pagers.
Yeah, we had pagers, but that was about it. But
When
we had
you were in
payphones
high
then,
school.
too. Yeah.
When you were in high school, that's when y'all used to customize the pagers.
Oh yeah,
Get all the different colors. Them joints used to blink.
Different cases and whatnot. Yeah, we had payphones. You know what I'm saying? So we had to make sure we had change. You know what I'm saying? So you had the 831 and the 911. Like you got to hit me back up like now. You know what I'm saying?
I it's so funny. I forgot how you dial the person's pager number. Then when it rings, you dial after it ring. You dial your number and pound or star.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they knew, okay, that's the number that they call you back on.
Right.
And then
but we knew numbers. We knew numbers back then.
Yeah, we knew numbers.
You know what I'm saying? We knew numbers back then. So like you might get a page where it's like everybody had a number. You know what I'm saying? So like if somebody like beat me and it came up like 24.
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah blah. I knew who 24 was. Like I just call you right back. Boom boom. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, other than that, they just put the number in pound and you just wait until the person call you back. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it was right away. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, or other times you had to wait and chill for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And then we had dial up internet then too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
then by the time I got to high school, when I got to high school, a lot of people didn't have cell phones. But my freshman year, September 11th occurred, which was 20 years ago.
Right.
So everybody's parent was like, we got to try and find something because for all of you all who are out and about. And even then, by the time I graduated high school, we still only had like 50% of the school had a cell phone.
Right. And
like my senior
little Nokia joint.
Yeah. My senior year of high school, like we were still calling homes to get to people.
Right.
You couldn't just call them straight.
Yeah.
And now fast forward later, 16 years later, I mean, these kids got AirPods in their ear, walking in the hallway, in class.
Wow.
I had to be like, hey, yo, you gotta take the AirPods out.
Oh, so you were at the school?
Yeah, I was in the classroom.
Okay. All right.
So, a couple times I had to be like, yo, you got to take your AirPods out. And they were like you could tell they were seniors, two senior boys. I believe they play on the basketball team because they're like 6'4", 6'5". And, they out here, they talking through the class. Mind you, I think they realized that I didn't realize, me and the teacher. So the teacher was teaching virtually, but I had to assist in the classroom. And we realized for some reason the audio was muted on our end. So when the teacher would speak, like no one would answer. And so then after a while, she's like, yo, I think y'all probably just, mentally drained. And she'll just go on, keep on lecturing, not realizing that, the audio was off. So I think they realized. So after a while, they were just like, oh, we going to be talking in this class. And like the class started getting loud. I was like, yo, you gotta be quiet. You gotta be quiet. And then, they started to settle down, but it was the two young men, like, and I'm like, yo, take y'all AirPods out. I told y'all earlier.
Young boys, man. They still in high school. They boys. Still.
And then true. And then they I was like, yo, take your AirPods out or I'm going to take them.
Right.
And then they slowly all right, I think he's pretty serious. So I think they were trying to flex because I was the new person for the day.
Right.
So, they were trying to see how far things would go. And after a while, I was like, look, man, I ain't playing with y'all. Just take y'all AirPods. I was like, y'all ain't going to get them back. Not anytime soon. So then they finally did. And then they finally be quiet. And then after that, man, I ain't had no issues. I had no issues with them. The other
facts. Big facts. Yo, if it was me, bruh, oh yeah, I would have been hitting the kid, bruh. I ain't gonna lie.
See, that's the thing. You for sure grew up in the era of corporal punishment in school.
Oh, bruh,
I got the tail end of that.
Yeah, bruh. Look. I either get beat by a nun in school.
Perfect.
And if I did get beat by a nun in school, I damn sure was getting beat when I got home because I got beat. It's an evil
world we live in.
Because I got beat in school by a nun. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely an evil world back then. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you right now, it was like if I acted up in school, by the time I got home, it was curtains, bruh.
Yeah,
curtains. You know what I'm saying?
So I was just like, and then the thing about it is because. Even not just that class, other classes, they all have their laptops to do a lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of the work is done on laptops. I believe everything except written tests are done on laptops. So they're doing the work. But with a laptop, you could just be minimize that screen, da-da-da-da. Minimize that screen, da-da-da-da. So a couple times, be like, yo, man, I need you to take the YouTube down, or I need you to stop watching movies or something, you know. And once they see you, they were like, all right, let me take it off. I believe once I'm there more often, then they're gonna be like, oh, this dude is here, for real, he's gonna be here. I'm like, yeah.
So you plan on being a teacher?
Nah, I don't see. Let me tell you something. I don't plan on it, but the way things are going, just got to do it for a little bit, you know.
I mean, all you need is a bachelor's degree. You don't need a teaching degree.
So it is what it is. They need assistance. They hit me up. And I was like, well, I ain't really doing anything.
Right.
And
you paying, right?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
And then not only that, I pretty much did my schoolwork today while I was in there.
Oh, nice.
So after we finish recording, I'm about to just watch this football game and call it a night. So I ain't got to stay up and do anything.
Perfect.
Oh,
so,
yeah, that's
man.
true. Okay.
So it was pretty good. Well, we got a lot to get into for this week's show. We are going to recap week 1 of the NFL season. Also going to talk about NFL injuries, Cristiano Ronaldo, Nicki Minaj, Certified Lover Boy versus Donda, because we haven't had a chance to talk about that. And even though we are 1 week into the NFL season, we are going to have our 2021 NFL season preview. Just want to remind you all to subscribe to the podcast where podcasts are available. And that includes Apple, Anchor, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn. And if you're watching right now or watching at any time on demand, you could watch us on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So, yep, that's where you could reach us at any time. Let's just get right into the NFL. Before we can really talk about the NFL season, I do want to quickly get into this because it is a few weeks old, but I still feel like it's important that we talk about it. Cam Newton was released from the New England Patriots. They decided to go with the starter. I mean, it's the rookie, Mac Jones. Cam Newton was on a podcast. I can't remember whose podcast was it.
I don't know whose podcast that was.
I can't remember, but someone prominent, because I remember when I watched it was someone prominent. He said, hey, and he said something that I said, and I'm still trying to find the clip. But he said something that I said literally like 2 or 3 years ago.
Was that the one I sent you?
Yes, the one you sent me.
Oh, okay.
And I said this 2 or 3 years ago, and maybe Matt, he just chimed in with his comments. He was my co-host at that time.
Right.
I said, when Cam Newton is on the fringe of being a starter or backup, he'll be out the league pretty quickly because all the excuses will come up and people will say, oh, well, he's too much of a distraction if he's going to be the backup. And I also, in that same vein, in that same conversation, I said, it's really hard for black quarterbacks to be career backups. Yes, you have your Tyrod Taylors. Yes, you have Teddy Bridgewater. You've had Ronnie Pete in the past. You've had Charlie Batch. You've had Byron Leftwich, which was a fringe, starter for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but then the rest of his career was pretty much backup. But when it comes to like most backups in the NFL, they tend to be white quarterbacks. And now the starting quarterbacks, I haven't looked at the numbers, but I feel like there is close to half of the starters are black right now. So in the starters, okay, 50-50. But when it comes to backups, I bet you that number is nowhere near 50-50.
Nah, I think we got 1 or 2. Is your boy from Potomac in Pittsburgh?
So we have Dwayne Haskins.
Is he second or is he third in Pittsburgh?
He's second. You know what? I don't know.
Okay, he might.
I know
at
least one point he was. I don't know.
At one point he should have been second.
Yeah,
yeah.
But before we even get to that, Cam Newton pretty much said the same thing. Like, hey, you know what? The Patriots decided that Mac was going to be the starter, and then they were like, well, we can't have him here and have him pretty much behind Mac and putting pressure on him. I do believe if Cam Newton is your backup, he's going to put pressure on most starters in the NFL.
Well, he should. I mean, I think with any backup, you should be pressuring the starter to be better. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to give a shout out to Bernard Samuel of Shut Your Face. I was speaking to him today, and we were talking. I'm going to read, I guess, part of our conversation. And I said, look, when healthy, Cam Newton's better than Baker Mayfield. Debatable. But Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Andy Dalton, Kirk Cousins, Tyrod Taylor, Sam Darnold, another debatable Matt Ryan, Daniel Jones, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Teddy Bridgewater, Jimmy Garoppolo. And I forgot to even add this, but then he reminded me. He was like, I think he's better than Mac Jones and Zach Wilson also.
Okay.
So that's 13 guys, 13 starters that he's better than.
Right.
For sure. Then there are some others where you could kind of be like, oh, fringe, possibly, like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is.
You don't know who you're getting by game.
Yeah.
You don't know who you get.
So we had that. But Cam Newton's not in New England. Now, Cam Newton is partly to blame this time. Because Cam Newton isn't vaccinated. And that absence for those 5 days really hurt Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And usually I'd be like, man, that's a terrible way. They had to sit out for 5 days. Let's say he had a finger injury. He had to sit out the 5 days, but he came back and was healthy and then played decent when he came back.
Right.
And then they got rid of him and said, oh, it was the finger. I would be like, yo, that's pretty wild. But the fact that he missed some time due to a COVID violation, which is partly his fault, partly the team's fault. I think the team said, look, we might have problems later with this. And Mac is pretty close, in our opinion, to being the starter also. Let's just go with Mac. And they drafted him in the first round. So it's just one of those things that when you're in a situation like Cam, you got to be so much better than your counterpart for you to really get the benefit of the doubt. So usually I'd be like, man, this is wild that they did this to Cam. But hey, Cam is to blame for this also. What do you have to say about that, Thad?
Yeah, I mean, I think he is partially to blame to this, just because of, like he said to himself, his aura, the way he is, you know what I'm saying, the outspoken character that he is, you know what I'm saying, like that comes into play. Like everybody always asks, and he said it himself. He's like, everybody always asks, like everything from what he wears to the game, him dancing in practices and stuff like that.
Steve Zolak said that.
All that stuff that people see and talk about. You know what I'm saying? They do eventually. It does kind of hurt you when they see the distraction. You know what I'm saying? They know that even as a backup, it's not like Cam's just gonna like sit there and not talk. But then again, you know how the press is gonna be.
Yep.
The press is they're gonna talk to him like he's Sha'Carri.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, that's a little disrespectful to Cam Newton. Sha'Carri ended up in last. Perfect. Last.
Well, if you're not first, you're last. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So if you're second, you're still last. So, yeah. But, yeah, man, I think that's what it is. I mean, most of it I think will have to do with the media and with him and how, just how it is. But, we all know Cam would be a somewhat distraction because just of the person he is, not even his gameplay, just the person he is. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I mean, now, should Cam be on a team somewhere right now? I would think so. I definitely think so. I think he's better than, he could be right here in Washington, but.
Yeah, well, I was about to get to that.
No. But, so we all know we had that chance last season. And they said, nah, we ain't going after Cam. We don't want, and then to me, I'm like, okay, maybe they don't want a Carolina part 2. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I really don't know what really happened in Carolina that last season. They were both together. You know what I'm saying? So, besides the gameplay, wins and losses, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if there was other stuff in between. So
you mentioned the Carolina part 2, and like you said, you're not sure what happened that last year. Basically, it was.
I know he hurt his foot and stuff like that.
He hurt his foot.
Yeah.
And then he hurt his foot. The shoulder was still an issue. But it looks like they're still trying to do a 2.0 because they ended up signing Heineke. We'll get into that a little later, though.
Well, yeah, they signed Heineke last season.
Heineke and
they still have Allen. They still have Allen.
Yeah,
and
so they got 2 of their 3 quarterbacks in there,
and then they signed another one too.
Yeah. Anyways,
but,
we'll get to your Washington football team a little bit later.
Yeah. We got
week 1 in the NFL.
Are
you excited that the NFL is here then?
Yeah. I don't think the excitement is not the game, not the season itself. I think it's more of the fans being there. That fan aspect. Like, I thought it was dope just seeing like, because I knew some friends that were at the Raiders games.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
Because
yep.
the Ravens flew a bunch of them there, so they were all part of that. And just seeing that, I want to go to that stadium. You know what I'm saying? Like for years, I've been saying, "Yo, I want to go to a game in Dallas." Like the Vegas one kind of trumps Dallas right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I want to go to the Vegas joint. Even though I've never been to Vegas, but that stadium looks dope.
I've never been there either, but I do plan on going there in 2025 when the Cowboys play there for the first time in a regular season game. That's the plan. I already talked to my boy Trey Douglas.
Perfect.
And we were like, yeah, we going 2025. We'll be, you know.
Damn, they don't play any time, or do they play in Dallas?
They play this year in Dallas. So it's 4 years from now they'll then play.
Okay, gotcha.
They'll then play the Raiders unless, you know, with this 17th game.
Right.
You know how you get that odd. And they still haven't even put out how they choose who plays the 17th. But unless there's a way that they end up being that 17th game. Because this year the Cowboys play the Patriots. And the Cowboys played the Patriots 2 years ago.
Okay.
In New England. So it was supposed to be 2 years from now, but they ended up playing them now. And then they'll play 2 years from now again.
Right. With the rest of the division.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha,
so unless, you know, but the plan is 2025 for the Dallas for me to go to Vegas to go see them. Talking about the Dallas Cowboys, they lost a game to the Buccaneers, the first game of the year. Buccaneers won 31-29. We'll get into that a little bit later. The Texans seemed to shock everyone. And looking back, I'm like, why are we shocked? But they did shock everyone. They defeated the Jaguars 37-21 behind Tyrod Taylor's performance. And the Houston defense had 3 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence had 3 touchdowns, 300 plus yards, but he had those 3 interceptions. The Chargers defeated the Washington football team. We'll get into that a little bit later. Seahawks defeated the Colts 28-16. Panthers defeated the Jets 19-14 in overtime. The Bengals squeaked out a victory at the Horn 27-24 on a field goal. The Cardinals smacked the Titans 38-13 in Nashville. The 49ers, which ended up being like a real shootout. 49ers defeated the Lions 41-33. We then had the Steelers going up against the Bills, and they defeated the Bills 23-16. The Eagles smacked the Falcons in Atlanta. Battle of the Birds 32-6. The Browns, they were winning in Arrowhead, but like certain things just happened that went down. You know, you had a fumbled snap by the punter, and then you had an INT by Baker Mayfield when they were trying to come back. Right. Chiefs win 33-29. I just had to refresh the scores because I can't remember. I accidentally press the button, so give me 1 second. Here we go. Annihilation by the Saints 38-3. And let me be real, I had heard of the annihilation. I didn't realize how bad it was until I looked at the score today. And I was like, whoa, it was that bad.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Jameis Winston 5 touchdown passes, and he didn't even get I think over 200 yards.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
I think he got like 178 or something like that. Like, I didn't even look at the stats to see how much rushing yards they had for him to have 5 touchdowns.
They had a lot of short fields. Yeah. That was something I didn't notice. So they didn't have to go that far. Broncos win in Meadowlands 27-13.
That's crazy.
The Dolphins defeated the Patriots in Foxborough because one of the running backs for the Patriots actually fumbled the ball late in the game. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Mac Jones played a decent game. He played enough to win that game in his NFL debut, so I gotta give him credit for that. The Rams smacked the Bears 34-14, and the Monday night game, which was probably the best game of the week. The Raiders win in overtime 33-27. We'll get into that a little bit later. A lot of players are injured right now, Thad.
Crazy.
A lot of season-ending injuries. I know Raheem Mostert, because he was on 2 of my fantasy teams, had to get rid of him. We had Jeff Okudah, torn Achilles. Who else was injured this week, then?
I'm sure there was like another Ravens player that got injured again.
Yes.
Probably. I mean, they lost like, 2-3 running backs in a row?
Mm-hmm.
And then a cornerback?
They now have Le'Veon Bell and Latavius Murray, which we'll talk about Latavius Murray a little bit later in this show. But those guys,
it's crazy.
Ravens were definitely missing quite a few guys. Notable, I'm going to bring up, and this is a link, Jerry Jeudy. Yes, he was carted off the field. They said a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
That was shocking because it looked bad.
Yeah.
It looked like it was like broken ankle. Like not as bad as Dak last year, but pretty close.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, it's Giants, man. That's what they do now. You know what I'm saying? They did it to Dak, and now they're doing it to Jerry Jeudy. It's crazy.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. I love how they put.
We will talk about him. Should we talk about him? Well, no, we're not going to talk about that yet because that's going to be later on. But yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
I love how they put hip subluxation.
Yeah. Why don't
I'm like,
you just
mean
say
a dislocated hip?
Right. Why don't you just say hip injury, hip dislocation? No, we're going to go into all this. Like, we know a lot of NFL fans did not know what that meant. All right. We know.
I knew just because, we've had family members that have had dislocations, and we will see on their report it says subluxation. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a dislocation. So a lot of people are like, well, what is this? I'm like, it's a dislocation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so that happened. We mentioned Raheem Mostert. Looks like another knee injury again. Dre Greenlaw, groin injury. Jason Verrett, man, ACL.
Jeez.
It's
like the NBA season already.
We had Jedrick Wills, ankle injury. Mekhi Becton, a knee injury. Also, LaMarcus Joyner, elbow out for the year. I mentioned Jeff Okudah. He's out for the rest of the year. Kelvin Beachum of the Cardinals. Rib injury. Rashad Penny again. Left calf. None of the Seahawks running backs could stay healthy.
No.
They just get the most injury-prone running back.
Chris Carson's going to be next. Watch.
Chris Carson. CJ Pro-Size.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's still there, but CJ Pro-Size. Remember Thomas Rawls?
Yep.
All them dudes injured.
Yeah.
Brian Bulaga, his back. He left the game against Washington, like Nazir Adelaide. He left the game. Also, Marcus Epps with a concussion. JJ Arcega Whiteside with an ankle. Marshawn Lattimore, thumb injury. Jason Peters, a quad. Raekwon Davis.
Well, Jason Peters, that's always with him.
Yeah, man.
That's every season. There's something wrong with Jason Peters.
So, Thad, why do you think all these injuries are happening?
Like I was gonna say, did we change? Did the league change the field this year? Like that's for a lot of these ankle, knee, leg injuries. That's my first thought. Is like the field. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It wasn't like the NBA shortened season. You know what I'm saying? The shortened off season where they jump back into it again. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. And you can't really say like the preseason was shortened because of the extra game because they weren't really playing, folks. And that might be what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these teams didn't play a lot of people those 3 preseason games because they knew who their starters were. So they really didn't put them in the game. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
So I spoke to a doctor and a physical therapist.
Uh-huh.
And I guess the physical therapist is a doctor too. I got to ask him if he has, I don't know how that goes.
It depends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I spoke to the doctor. We had him on here a few weeks ago. Dr. Benjamin Joshua Brown.
Yeah.
And I asked him, yo, what's going on? Is it the lack of, is it due to inactivity in the preseason? Is it just because it's a violent game? Is it both? He was like, well, they took away contact in training camp and practice to cover themselves when it came to, things like the concussion settlement and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
He said, and then they wanted them to go full speed without, they cut the practices, they cut the padded practices, and then they limited players from playing, and then was like, yeah, go out there and play 100%. So he said, that's just too much on the body. I then spoke to my physical therapist friend who graduated with me from my great alma mater, and he kind of said the same thing.
Did you just say great alma mater?
Yeah. He kind of said the same thing. He said teams are focused on player safety in the offseason, and the NFLPA limits player physicality, so it takes a few weeks for the body to get adjusted to the trauma of 200 to 300 pound collisions. So
yeah, that's true. So if your alma mater is a great alma mater,
don't do this now. Don't do this now.
I mean, all right, I'll leave it alone. I don't want no smoke. Next thing you know, I'm gonna have TA folks coming after me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. So I think that's what it is, man. Just the inactivity in the the preseason. I think honestly, I know a lot of people are criticizing Harbaugh for actually having J.K. Dobbins in that last game where he ends up injuring himself out for the year.
Well, didn't Dobbins not really play? Dobbins, this is not his rookie year, right? This is second year. Yeah. But he didn't really play that much his rookie year.
Yeah, he had stretches where he didn't really play much.
Right. So now he's, what's going on in your house?
You know how this, you know.
I was like, wait, am I just hearing that? Is
you know
that
how
my
the sisters? You know how the sisters act.
Right. I still need to stop by and come see Auntie.
You have to coordinate that with her.
Right. True that. I forgot about that. You're vaccinated? Where you been? But no, I mean, yeah. I see. My first thought was something with the fields and stuff too. But then again, now hearing that where they've taken out things in practices and the off season where, playing in these games, trying to go full speed, your body ain't been going full speed. So something got to give. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So. I guess that's why Dr. Joshua is a doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I just think that's what it is. Urban Meyer. Week 1 in this NFL stint. And there's already rumors that, he might be out of there pretty quick.
Already? Jeez.
Oh, man. Rumors are saying that he is like very combative on the sideline. He don't know how to talk to his players and his coaches. They say he's already took so much, like he felt so bad after losing the opener. And I'm like, this ain't college where you lose one game, the season's over. Like,
right. You ain't playing for the bowl game. You know what I'm saying?
The last time that happened, when he realized he didn't have a good team, he just quit and said, I got heart issues. Like, I'm gone. I gotta go. This man.
That was Florida, right?
Yeah, with Tebow and them.
Yeah. Like they won and then he realized he didn't have a good team and then rolled out. And then he went Ohio State and got the super team again.
Yeah, he was like, man, I lost the SEC title game. Like, I can't do this. He went straight to the hospital. Like, I got heart problems. And it took a little sabbatical to then re-up with another team. But anyways, they're already talking about that. Now, Clay Helton fired from USC. There's already rumors that he might be going to USC already.
Wow.
Another coach rumored to USC is Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. He had to come out today, and just like Urban Meyer, let me say that about Urban Meyer. Came out and said, "Look, I'm not focused on USC right now. I'm focused on the team that I'm with right now." But if I were to say someone leaving right away,
is him.
It's Urban Meyer.
It's Urban Meyer, for sure.
Pulling what was the head coach from that ended up going to Arkansas? Went from Louisville to the Falcons and then Arkansas.
Oh
man, he can't touch the NFL right now. He left for like 2 or 3 games. He didn't even say bye. He put notes in the locker. It was just like, I'm out. His team saw him, Bobby Petrino. They saw him. They saw him on TV accepting a job. Like, yo, what? That's Urban Meyer. That is about to be Urban Meyer. And then he already got some heat right before the season started because he admitted, he said, vaccination, records took a precedence in part of the roster cuts. Like he publicly said that.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you can't just
like you can't say that, bro.
Like,
you can't say that.
We know that you want to make sure your team is as healthy as possible and that they won't cost you any games with the new rules.
Right.
But you can't say that publicly like, man, we actually factored in vaccination to see who was going to end up staying on this roster.
Yo, there was something the other day about it was something with the media, about talking to the media. I think it was like the away team media or something like that. That there's some loophole where he doesn't have to talk to them.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some loophole in the NFL stuff that you don't have to.
Wow.
And he somehow found that loophole, and he was like not trying to talk to like.
Had to be a college coach to figure that one out.
Yeah, of course.
Like college coaches want total control. Like total control. Oh man. The Ravens, that game Monday night, and I want to give a shout out to my man who liked the live stream, Van. I believe Van is a Raiders fan, so I know he's happy that the Raiders got that overtime victory against the Ravens. Now the Ravens, Lamar Jackson got them down the field. They scored a touchdown, went up by 7. Raiders came back, tied up the game. Lamar Jackson led them on a drive, got them in field goal range with 40 seconds left. The Raiders had no timeouts, and the defense allowed them to get into field goal range, kick a field goal, go to overtime. In overtime, the Raiders throw a deep bomb, catch it. It's ruled a touchdown, realize the receiver's short at the 1-yard line. They try to run a quarterback sneak on 1st and goal, get stuffed. 2nd and goal, they try a play, doesn't work. 3rd and goal, Derek Carr throws a perfect pass to Willie Snead, where if he catches it, he walks into the end zone, goes straight through his hands, hits a Ravens defender in the helmet, goes up in the air. Ravens intercept it for a touchback. A couple plays later, Lamar Jackson fumbles the ball again. He had a couple fumbles earlier. They lose the ball. I think the very next play, or 2 plays later.
No. I think it was very next play.
Oh, very next play.
Yeah, it was very next
they're already in field goal range. Very next play. Raiders do a play action, and I really do believe that Ravens defense just thought they were running the ball. Receiver butt naked open, Zay Jones wide open for a touchdown.
But see, the thing with me was when I saw the play, well, first of all, mind you, because that was Monday night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm playing pool. And I just happened to look up at the screen, and it's 14-0 Ravens, first quarter, with a lot of time left in the first quarter. I was like, oh, game's over. From the break, I was just like, game over. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? Next, I see the play, I see the touchdown, and it was like game over. I'm like, wait, what? So after all that, seeing everything, and it was the weirdest play action I ever seen. It wasn't even like a regular play action. And then he's about to get sacked, and he just literally lofts it. Like, it wasn't even a good throw. Mm-hmm. He lofts it, but homeboy's wide open.
Yeah.
And the Ravens defender just, like, stopped. Like, he didn't even attempt to try. It was almost kind of like that Florida State game where the defenders really didn't even try to tackle homeboy.
Oh.
Yeah. It was almost like that. Yeah. So that's just wild. That was just a wild. I heard it was just a wild sequence of events. Just with that overtime, it's just a weird sequence of events that folks haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah, man. Let's get to our favorite teams. The Washington football team.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down with that injury, dislocated hip in the first half. Taylor Heineke comes in. Taylor Heineke, I know a lot of people say he moved the offense better than Fitzpatrick. And I'm kind of like, outside of the miracle catch that Terry McLaurin had, I felt like Antonio Gibson was really killing.
He was killing
on the running game and with the short passes and then going for the rack.
You know that's how people see the offense is moving, but they realize it's short passes.
Man, the offense it just moves differently. Like moving, what? It just moves differently.
Like I didn't see one really long pass from Heineke. I only saw it from Fitz, and that one was. I think it ended up being like a pass interference.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, that's the first time in a couple of years I've ever seen a long pass in the Redskins offense in a good while. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mentioned the miracle catch by McLaurin.
I'm sorry, Washington football team offense.
Which should have been intercepted by the DB. It went through his hands into McLaurin. The very next play, though, Heineke does throw a touchdown to Logan Thomas. Yeah. You all take the lead, but then the Chargers end up getting a turnover and then scoring a touchdown and then getting the ball back with about 6 minutes lit in the fourth quarter and then milk the clock to end the game there. Your Washington football team plays in about 30 minutes here at FedEx Field against the New York Giants. The starting quarterback is going to be Taylor Heineke because Fitzpatrick is out for a few weeks. You dislocate your hip, you out for a few weeks.
Especially at that age.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your, I guess, prospects on this team now that Heineke is there?
Well, see, with me is our season is on the hands of the defense like it was last season. Mm-hmm. Our defense has to be dominant for us to, because our offense isn't bad, but we're not a high-powered offense by any means. Mm-hmm. So our defense is going to have to dictate how the games go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If they're not, and as you see, look, the first series that the Chargers had, our defense was getting murdered.
Yeah.
And it was almost kind of like they were trying to figure out the Chargers offense. And then after that first touchdown by the Chargers, the defense kind of honed in. It was almost kind of like, let's see what kind of plays they're playing. And it was like, okay, here. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Herbert was throwing very well, accurate passes. That whole series was just accurate passes. It was like somebody even said, like, you can't defend perfect passes.
Can't defend.
He really can't. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was almost kind of like the defense was trying to figure out the Chargers, which they kind of did the following series. You know what I'm saying? Where it stayed close for a while. So, but our defense can't start out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had heard some things about how last season Del Rio wouldn't make real changes until like midway through the season, and that's where you saw the defense play even better than they were.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So can you make those changes like halfway through a game? You know what I'm saying?
Look, the Washington defense, I know a lot of people locally are blaming them for the loss. Because
no, I'm not blaming them at all from
the thought process is this defense is supposed to be like the capital punishment defense of the 90s, like of 91.
No. Like,
and they're supposed to just be locking people down.
Nah. I'll tell you right now, myself as a fan, like, don't get me wrong, our defensive line, very good. Possibly even top 5 in the league right now. But our cornerbacks and linebackers, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the defensive line gives you a top 5 defense, our cornerbacks and linebackers drops it back down to the bottom of the 20. Like, real talk. Like, we have decent players in our backfield, but they're not that good. And that's when it comes to our defense. If the line can't get to the quarterback, you already know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And you saw that in that first series where they didn't get anywhere near Herbert, and he was killing our cornerbacks and our linebackers, which our linebackers still aren't that good by any means.
You know, I know you got Jamin Davis. He didn't really
he's a rookie.
Show flashes, but it was game 1.
But he hardly played game 1 either.
That's true.
And then Chase didn't. He hardly played game 1 also, which is kind of weird to me. But I don't know. But that's the thing. Like, Del Rio, something's up with Del Rio. I never really liked Del Rio's defenses at all. How they played, I never really liked Del Rio.
Oh man, it's the Maga Del Rio defense.
Where's was it Williams?
Greg Williams.
I would rather have Greg Williams.
I think a lot of people would love Greg Williams as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Greg Williams coaching this defense, as like, don't get me wrong, as bad as our cornerbacks are in my mind, like, I think Greg Williams would do a better job with our defense right now, how it is, than Del Rio. But
yeah.
But yeah, everything rolls through our defense. Offensively, we're not going to take over games, I don't think.
Well, see, this is the thing. Yes, your defense didn't play well the first series or the last series.
Right.
But they still held
the
Chargers to 20 points.
Yeah, they held good. They still held good.
There's a lot to go back and be like, look, if we just work on some of these things could be a lot better.
Yeah. We definitely didn't lose the game because of the defense.
Yeah.
By far.
Honestly, I think what was bigger was the impromptu turnover by Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
Which gave them 7 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they had just intercepted the ball.
Yeah.
And then the very next play, fumble, you know. And it was deep in their own territory when that happened. So I think that was one of the killers for the Washington football team. Let's get to the Dallas Cowboys. Offense looked phenomenal against passing offense looked phenomenal against the Buccaneers defense, especially once was it Sean Murphy Bunting went down with that injury. It was curtains for their DBs, especially the young DB. I can't remember his name. Whoever he was checking, they were just throwing the ball to him.
Right.
CeeDee Lamb had over 100 yards. Amari Cooper had over 100 yards. I think they both had touchdowns. Gallup had an okay performance until he got hurt.
Right. Yeah, we can say his name about him getting hurt.
Yeah, Dak was looking real good. Real confident.
Tampa Bay's cornerbacks aren't that good either.
They're not that good.
It's the defensive
pass
line.
Rush. And
they
do have good linebackers. That's the thing.
Yeah, they do have good linebackers. But
their linebackers couldn't cover the Cowboys receivers. So
not at all.
It was looking good. Zeke didn't look good. But personally, I believe the game plan was just to not even give him the ball.
Yeah, the way they were doing it, it wasn't like he was getting stopped every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you don't give him the ball that much, It just makes it look even worse.
I think honestly they were like, look, we know their rush defense is good, but we can take advantage of the corners. And then once their best corner went down, it was just like, hey, we're gonna just keep on going with this. There were a couple plays. I could say there was one play for sure Dak missed. One of them was a flat. Zeke was in the flat, and he threw it way too late. So when Zeke caught it, he had to get his 2 feet down, and then he had to step out of bounds. If he had just thrown it to him earlier, he would have walked right into that end zone, and ultimately the Cowboys had to kick a field goal.
Right.
But if I have to divvy up the pie chart of who to blame, my biggest portion is still going to Greg Zuerlein.
Got you.
Because Greg Zuerlein, after a turnover, missed a 31-yarder.
Yeah. Then he missed an extra point.
Then he missed the extra point after a turnover.
Jeez.
I'm not going to count the 60-yarder because it's 60 yards.
Yeah.
And actually, it was a surprise. Like, it was actually a good idea that the Cowboys went for it, because at that time, the Patriots had no timeouts in like 15 seconds.
Right.
So they were like, you're not going to be able to throw a pass in the middle of the field, get the field goal team in to kick the field goal. So let's actually attempt a 60-yarder, and if we make it, we make it.
Right.
And he wasn't that far off.
No.
Greg Zuerlein is coming off of an injury, back injury, didn't even play in the preseason. So all of his kicks were going left, except the potential go-ahead winner. Where 50, I think it was 50 yards or something like that down the middle. But then the Cowboys defense allows the Buccaneers to get down the field and get in field goal range to ultimately win the game.
You already know.
Look, they left.
You leave Tom with that amount of time, he's gonna go down the field.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, one of the touchdowns, the one that Gronk had, you cannot do all-out blitzes against Tom Brady. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. Those are two quarterbacks you cannot all-out blitz because they're going to know where to go.
Right.
Like the reason why those guys like had bad games, like the 2 Super Bowls against the Giants, and then those other playoff losses. Typically for Tom Brady, he struggles when you only send 4 and you can still pressure him. Right. If you have to send a 5th guy, he already knows where to go with the ball.
Yep.
And they had an all-out blitz, which left a linebacker against Rob Gronkowski one-on-one, and Gronkowski's going to win that all the time. Yeah, man. But so I was happy with the offense.
Yeah, y'all look good.
The defense didn't look good. It is week 1 with a new defense. I would say, even though they didn't look good, they look better than last year. So, yeah. Still not good, but not as trash as they were last year. Now, the big issue for the Dallas Cowboys is this. Zach Martin didn't play last week due to COVID, but he's cleared now. The day after the game, we find out Lyle Collins is suspended for 5 games for like a PED violation.
So it was PED.
Yeah, I believe it's PED.
Okay. Somebody said it was heroin, but yeah,
or it could have been drugs. I don't know.
It was real unclear. It was real.
Yeah, I can't remember what
control.
it said.
It was like controlled substance, something like that. Yeah. And when you first think controlled substance, you think drugs, but then again, it could be pets too. So they just left it open for imagination.
So Lyle Collins is out for 5 games. Michael Gallup, calf strain during the game, didn't return. He's going to be out for a few weeks. Mm-hmm. But the big news that broke yesterday, DeMarcus Lawrence, broken foot, out 6 to 8 weeks.
Jeez. Ooh.
Randy Gregory, the other rusher on the other side, COVID list.
Jeez.
And guess who we play this week? The Los Angeles Chargers in LA. Ooh. Now, LA is pretty much a second home of the Dallas Cowboys, but it is the Chargers' home opener. Right. And the Chargers are pretty good. So I don't know how this game is going to go. I really don't know how this game is going to go. But hopefully, for my sake, they play well.
Question for you though: how much longer can Dak throw like 60 passes a game?
Okay, I don't think
How much longer?
I don't think he's gonna have a game where he throws 6 because he threw 60 passes.
You know what I'm
I don't think
saying?
he's gonna have a game where he does that. I think he can still do it. I don't think he'll have a game like that. I think he'll make the max he'll probably get is 40 in a game this season, unless it's like a real shootout. That we're having,
Right. Gotcha.
which I don't think there's going to be a lot of shootouts with the Dallas Cowboys team. Either the Dallas Cowboys are going to lose big or they're going to win big. This is a must-win game week 2, though. Must win. Because if they go down 0-2, I'm sorry. This season might be over already.
Jeez.
People are saying I'm overreacting. Well, I'm like, look, we're going to have to put ourselves in a situation where we have to beat the Panthers, which they're not good. But when you have to say you have to beat the Panthers, that's not good.
Right.
You have to beat the Eagles. That's not good. And you have to beat the Giants.
Right.
And then you have to beat the Patriots on the road.
Yeah.
Those aren't good situations. They're just saying, hey, you got to beat those teams just so you can end up being 4-2 before the bye.
Right,
I believe
right,
that's
right,
the
right.
schedule. The rest of the way. Or actually, no. Yeah, I believe that's the schedule. It is like, that's not good for the Dallas Cowboys, especially knowing. Look, I want it as easy for the Cowboys to get into the playoffs so they can get confidence.
Hey, losing season. That's all that matters.
Because the Cowboys, like Dak and Zeke got confidence after year 1, but then they didn't miss the playoffs year 2. Made the playoffs year 3, missed the playoffs year 4 and year 5. And I feel like they just need to make the playoffs, play strong, and really next year is the year I think they can be contenders. But they gotta make the playoffs this year for that to happen.
Dang, how you jump from just making the playoffs to contenders?
I mean,
That's crazy.
that's kind of what happens though. Like you got to at least make it. Like we see those teams that don't make the playoffs then make a Super Bowl, but then they end up losing. Or they make it to they don't make the playoffs for years, then they make it to the championship game and lose. We see that all the time.
Right.
You know, usually teams build. So that's why I say they need to build from this year. I don't think they're going to go from third place team in the terrible NFC East last year to then a Super Bowl contender this year.
Right.
So I think they need to make the playoffs, then try and make the Super Bowl, you know, or at least be contenders for the Super Bowl. So yeah, it's must win in my opinion. People think I am overreacting. Let's get to our NFL picks. This is the first year, instead of pick 'em, we are actually picking against the spread. Warning, this is for entertainment purposes. Got to put that disclaimer out there.
Hey, I understand on your end. Okay, I understand.
Week 1. After week 1, I have a record of 10-6. You have a record of 5-11 against the spread.
Well, that's crazy.
Yep. So let's go right now. Big Thad. Giants at Washington tonight, 3.5. Who you going with?
Ooh, it's raining. What's the spread again?
3.5.
Washington.
I am going with the Giants. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. Patriots at Jets. Patriots favored by 6. Ugh. I'm going to go with the Patriots on this one. What about you?
Patriots.
All right. Broncos at Jaguars. Broncos favored on the road by 6 points. Who you going with, then?
Yeah, I'm definitely going Broncos. I completely forgot they have a quarterback. So that's why I didn't pick them last week. That's why I picked the Giants to beat them last week. I forgot they got a quarterback. Yeah, so Broncos it is.
This was tough. I'm going to go with the Broncos on this one to be safe on this one. Bills at Dolphins. Bills are favored by 3.5. I am going to go with the Dolphins on this one. What about you, Thad?
Nah, I see a rebound. I'm going Bills.
All right. 49ers at Eagles. Thad, who you going with? Oh, sorry. The 49ers favored by 3 on the road.
Eagles.
All right, Eagles looked really good last week with Jalen.
I mean, considering they played the Falcons, but still, he looked good. I can't lie.
I am going to go with the Eagles also on this one. Rams at Colts. Rams favored 3.5. I am going to go with the. I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. I think the Colts are actually going to fall first 2 games at home, which is going to be pretty bad for them. But I think I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm going Rams also.
All right. Raiders at Steelers. Steelers favored by 5.5. Who are you going with, man?
Steelers.
All right. I am going to go with the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to keep this close.
Okay.
I think they're going to keep it close on the road. Bengals at Bears. Bears are favored by 2.5. I'm going to go with the Bears. What about you, Thad?
Ooh, who's starting? It's still Andy Dalton, right?
Still Andy Dalton right now. What's his name got in the game? Justin Fields got in the game, got a touchdown on a rushing attempt, and got completed, I think, his only pass that he attempted.
I'm going to go Bears.
All right. The Texans at Browns. Browns are favored by 12.5.
Ooh. Texans.
Yeah, that spread is way too high for an NFL team. Especially a Texans team that actually won last week, man.
Right.
I'm going with the Texans. Saints at Panthers. Saints are favored by 3.5. I am going to go with the Saints on this one. What about you, Thad?
I'm going Saints also.
All right, let's now get to the 4:00 kickoffs on Sunday. Vikings at Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 3.5. Who are you going with?
Cardinals.
All right. Cardinals. Kirk Cousins on the road. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I knew Kirk Cousins was going to fumble that game last week. Falcons at Buccaneers. Buccaneers are favored by 12.
Buccaneers.
I am going to go. This is.
It's tough. It's tough with it being that big, but
the Falcons really are bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it could definitely happen. I
do have a sizable lead, so I'm gonna take a gamble and say Falcons. You said
I'm gonna say Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. All right. Titans at Seahawks. Seahawks favored at 5.5. Who are you going with, Van?
Who are they playing again?
Titans at Seahawks, and the Seahawks are favored by 5.5.
5.5. Seahawks.
All right. I am going to go with the Titans. I think the Titans will bounce back from that smack they took. Cowboys at Chargers. Chargers favored by 3. I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one. What about you?
Chargers favored by 3. As much as I don't want to, Cowboys.
All right. Sunday night matchup. Chiefs at Ravens. Chiefs are favored by 3.5.
Chiefs.
I am also going with the Chiefs. Chiefs rarely cover, which is really weird, but I think they'll cover this time. In the Monday night game of the week, Lions at Packers. Packers are favored by 11.5. I think the Packers...
Man.
This one's tough, man.
I think it really depends on which Aaron Rodgers decides to show.
I think he'll bounce back. I'm gonna go with the Packers, man.
I don't know if it's Aaron Rodgers looking for a trade, or Aaron Rodgers like I'm just gonna play this season out until we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Packers.
All right. That will wrap up here our sports reality picks against the spread. We'll update you all next week on this one. Let's now get to our quick hitters, Big Thad. A lot of things that we missed since the last time we've been on. Ben Simmons wants out of Philly, and he says it is not my responsibility to find trade value because you all basically reduced my trade value, so you all need to fix my trade value, but I'm out of here. The team that is kind of came in the front running right now is the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Golden State Warriors are still in the mix. I did hear a rumor where Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum and like a piece.
Right.
And some sort of combination of players from both sides, but the headliners will be Ben Simmons and CJ McCollum. So Ben Simmons will go, and it kind of looks good. Ben Simmons maybe being the point guard and Lillard being more your off guard, your combo guard. I mean, I guess they could probably do it, but
right.
So that's happening right now. Bishops. Go ahead.
I heard a rumor that Ben Simmons wanted out of Philly 2 years ago.
Probably true.
Like he wanted out, and I mean, shoot, what they're trying to get for him this year is exactly what they could have got 2 years ago.
Oh man. Bishop Sycamore.
Perfect.
Somehow swindled ESPN a few weeks ago.
Swindled ESPN, swindled other high schools.
Swindled your great alma mater.
Perfect.
Yeah. Us, IMG, St. Francis. Yeah.
Many of you all know the story already, so I'm not going to really go into it, but they played a game on a Friday night, then played a game on Sunday against IMG.
One of the top teams in the nation.
Yeah, lost by 50 plus points.
Yeah.
They fooled the marketing team that put the game together.
Yeah.
They fooled ESPN by saying that they had five-star recruits. So people definitely wanted to see, this team play up against IMG.
Right.
Come to find out this school is not really a real school, but then it is a real school. Like, still not clear. The coach who coached the game had a warrant out for his arrest.
End up
getting fired somehow, even though he's not a real school.
Yeah,
then now the current coach is saying, yes, it's a real school. I wouldn't put my son here if it wasn't a real school. Players have come out and said, yeah, man, some of us played. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. The players haven't said that. Reporters had found out that some of the players played junior college because they found their photos and stats online. And
then I think that's the new coach even said at one point. He said, "It's a football academy."
Yeah, it's a football academy.
Yeah, like a fifth year. Like some of those fifth year high school, prep schools. Yeah, but it's a football academy. Like, what?
And then he's like, "Look, our biggest issue is we just have a janky website. So once we fix the website, you all will actually be able to see the academic side." He said all of that stuff. But the problem was, when it comes to their licensure in Ohio, it's licensed as a school.
Right.
So all the stuff he was saying is like, nah, they like a charter school, like, so they should have an academic program. They should be accredited somehow.
But supposedly they're not even part of the athletic association.
Yep, they're
Ohio.
they're not even part of the Ohio High School Athletics Association. They're part of a athletic association that is based in Texas. So there's like their conference opponents are teams in Texas. Guys said they were living in hotels.
Yeah.
The previous coach was writing bad checks.
Yeah, stealing money from a church.
Yeah, getting donations from a church and not really using it for what he said he was going to use it for. Some players got evicted from their hotels. One player, they said, allegedly lost everything, I guess, in the eviction, because wherever they put his stuff,
somebody took that joint.
Somebody took it, or they just, yeah. So he lost everything. One player even got hurt in that IMG game. Knee injury. They're saying allegedly he is like 26 years old.
Jeez. So
it's like, yo, you a 26-year-old got dusted by some high schoolers and you got your knee messed
right, that's
up,
even worse. You know what I'm saying? Even worse.
It's an evil world we live in.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, they our coach, I guess they talked to him about it because of course the Bantha was on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
He said that we were actually supposed to play them last year. But with COVID and everything, they just moved it to this season. And then he said, which was kind of weird, that we asked if they needed travel assistance to here, because the game was going to be here right at the Sports and Learning Complex. And they were like, nah, we're good on travel. And he thought it was kind of weird that they didn't need travel assistance, which most schools would get travel assistance.
Yeah.
When it come play here against us. So yeah, he was like, but yeah, I'm kind of glad that all this came out, because if somebody had got hurt, it'd have been against us because they don't have no insurance. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Mind you, they had some fly uniforms.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the money did go somewhere, I guess.
Fly uniforms. They had a coaching staff.
Yeah.
But they were some garbage. It was so bad. The commentators were like, by the end of the first quarter, they were like, yeah, we don't even know. They were like, we'll be honest with you, we don't know much about any of these players or coaches. And then by like the second quarter, they're kind of like, yeah, I think we got fooled. Like they said that on the air. I think we got fooled. They started doing football trivia in the second half.
Jeez.
Just to like pass the time. Like it was that bad. Cristiano Ronaldo. Last time we spoke, he was supposed to be going to my favorite team,
Manchester City.
Then it just became a total U-turn.
Went to my favorite squad.
Went to Manchester United.
Yep.
His former EPL team.
Yep.
And first game, he scored 2 goals, right?
Yep.
And you texted me. And I sent you a meme. And let me see. Hold on, before you tell people what the meme was.
I couldn't. I remember the. I don't remember the meme, but I remember the meme was hilarious though.
I'm a bring it up here. But yeah, man, this meme was just fitting for how I felt when you sent me that that text message. I'm going to share my screen now so you could see how I felt when you sent me that text message. Man, this was me right here when you sent me that text message about Cristiano Ronaldo playing with Manchester United and scoring 2 goals in his first match and saying we didn't need him anyway. So that is how I felt when you text me what happened with Cristiano Ronaldo. Clay Helton fired from USC. We mentioned that earlier.
Yep.
After losing to Stanford and just having some abysmal seasons, according to USC standards. But you know a team? The opening week of college football, the U got smacked by Alabama. Ohio State lost by Oregon at the Big House.
Yeah. Oregon came out. Like, see, a good buddy of mine, he's an Ohio State fan. He said in first game, he was like, yo, Ohio State is not going to beat Michigan this year, and they're not going to win the Big Ten. Then,
which means Maryland has a chance.
Right. Maryland has a chance. Then when the Oregon game was going on, he's like, "Yep, Ohio State is definitely not going to beat Michigan." And he was like, "Yeah, I think he said Maryland." He said Maryland, Penn State, and probably Michigan are probably going to be the front runners for Big Ten championship. I'm like, wait, you put Maryland in that? Okay, we got a chance. Let's go.
Yep. Maryland is 2-0 right now after a 50 plus beatdown of Howard. Halftime show was good though. They had what was it, CCB do halftime show?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man. They came out and they performed what's that is it Whip Wop? Remember that go-go song?
Yeah.
They performed that at halftime. And it was a joint halftime show with Howard and University of Maryland's band and CCB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
dope.
It was actually pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maryland has some very good musicians, but I wouldn't think they would have been involved in that. But that's dope, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that happened. Real quick before was there something when it came to kick? So that's pretty much it when it comes to Major League Baseball. Real quick, there's a possibility that the NL champion, and there's a possibility that there's a race the NL West right now in Major League Baseball. There's a very good race between the Dodgers and the Giants. Only a game separates the two teams. But when it comes to the wild card, I was hearing,
isn't the Cardinals real close?
Yeah, and
Cardinals
I
like
believe,
a game away or something like that.
And it's something odd where they're like, it'll be crazy if one of those teams in the West don't even really make the postseason because of what's happening. Let me bring up the NL wild card. Basically, one of those teams is going to have to play in the wild card. And then, so as of now, the Dodgers are on the wild card with 94-53 record.
Okay.
But St. Louis is 17 games behind them.
Ooh.
As the next wild card. So whoever misses out on the crown has to then play a wild card game.
Wow.
Yes, they're probably gonna be better and they're gonna have the home field for that game, but everyone's just like, man, this kind of sucks that would happen. Let's now get to our champ and chump of the week. We celebrate those who do well.
Wow, winning.
And criticize those who don't.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
It's our champ.
Let's go, champ!
And chump.
Now this guy's a chump.
Of the week. Champ and chump of the week, where we celebrate those that do well and we criticize those who do not. Starting with you, BigThad. Who is your champ of the week?
Justin Herbert.
Baby, want a champ.
Look, I don't think he's going to have a sophomore slump. You know what I'm saying? I can't even say sophomore slump because he played half of the season last year?
Nah, he
played.
He didn't play the games.
Full. So it was 15 games.
Yeah, he played 15.
All right, okay.
It was only game one he missed because he didn't start.
Yeah,
Game two, they punctured Tyrod Taylor's lungs and it was over.
I forgot that's what that was.
They told him right at kickoff, hey, by the way, you got to go in the game.
Right. No. So I don't think he's starting out very well. He played very well against the Washington football team. You know what I'm saying? He looked good as a passer. Looked good. I mean, considering, when he was drafted, everybody was just kind of like, what? Justin Herbert? What? Nah, they can't be. But no, I don't think he's looking strong, man. I don't think he's going to have a sophomore slump. You know what I'm saying? He's looking good.
Yep. My champ of the week goes to Jameis Winston.
Baby want a champ.
5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in his first start as the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. They had a couple deep balls, deep passes that they have not seen in a couple years when they had Drew Brees, struggling to throw past 15 yards. So yes, Jameis Winston might have a renaissance year. There is a possibility he will get comeback player of the year. And yes, I'm saying that even knowing that Dak is coming off of this injury, there's a possibility that Jameis Winston will be the comeback player of the year. Let's now get to your chump of the week, Big Thad. Who is that?
Fitzmagic.
Cause you're a chump.
AKA Ryan Fitzpatrick.
You mean Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Fitzmagic.
AKA Ryan Fitztragic.
So there's a little story going around that Ryan Fitzpatrick actually injured his hip at a water park in Virginia.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
conspiracy theory.
No. So Monday after the game, Brian Mitchell's show, I think it's Brian Mitchell and JP. Mm-hmm. They have a show, and people were calling in saying, "Hey, we used to always see Ryan Fitzpatrick at this water park in Virginia all the time, and there's like multiple slides. So there's like a fast slide and a slow slide, and he'll be there with his kids. Mm-hmm. And Ryan Fitzpatrick has like 7 kids. Yeah. So
doesn't believe in birth control.
Hey, man. I mean, what's his name? Had like 12, didn't he?
Yeah, he don't believe in birth control either.
No, the other quarterback. What's his name?
Rivers.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hey,
right, cool.
It's his religious preference.
Hey, man.
Can't judge that.
I mean, they made pretty good money over their career.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids. I don't care.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids. I am struggling with one child. All right, and yeah, we're not as rich as him, but we're okay.
Right. Now, I feel you. So, so they say they always throughout the summer they seen Ryan Fitzpatrick there with his kids and all that, and they said that not too long ago, it might have been the last week or a week before or so, they seen him at the water park, and at the bottom of the slide, he kind of bumped his hip.
Oh.
On the slide, you know what I'm saying? And they said when he got up, he kind of had this weird shuffle.
Oh.
So it's like, like you hit your hip or whatever, it's almost kind of like the Charlie horse type deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they said they saw that and didn't think nothing of it. And then when the game happened, and then dislocation of the hip. So it's like he kind of re-aggravated it at the game, but of course it became a dislocation. So, or what do they call it? The
subluxation.
Yeah, subluxation. So, yeah.
Big words.
You know what I'm saying? So, they're saying that's what happened. And people are calling in. Like, you could actually hear it on Twitter. There's a couple recording stuff on there. But they said Brian Mitchell was kind of laughing because it's like, there's no way like this is happening. And like people are just calling like, because it's Ryan Fitzpatrick with that beard. There's a couple people that look like him.
Yeah.
But still, so they're kind of laughing about it and whatnot. So,
oh man, my chump of the week has to go to the Baltimore Ravens defense.
Cause you're a chump.
Look, Lamar Jackson didn't have a perfect game. He didn't have he had an okay game. The reason why I'm saying okay is because he's an MVP caliber quarterback. I do expect more from him. However, when it really mattered, he led them on a touchdown drive. The Ravens defense allowed the Raiders score a touchdown. Then late in the fourth quarter, led them on a potential go-ahead field goal drive where they had a 3-point lead with 40 seconds left and the Raiders had no timeouts. And they allowed the Raiders to get the field goal range. And then in overtime, led 2 deep bombs to win that football game. So the Baltimore Ravens are my chump of the week. But I did just think about this one too. The Florida State University Seminoles.
Cause you're a chump.
Losing to Jacksonville State on a Hail Mary, a one-receiver Hail Mary.
Yeah.
As the time expired. My goodness. They are the chump of the week. Let's now get to our sports free zone where we take a break from sports for a little bit. We had a hurricane while we were gone. Hurricane Ida did damage in the southeastern United States, Louisiana, Alabama, the Gulf states down there. We also had some flooding in Philly and in New York, some serious flooding there. Several people unfortunately passed away during the storm that definitely passed through. So yeah, we definitely missed a lot when it came to that. Let's now get to some, I guess, funnier news, because I don't like talking about stuff like that. I just like to report that these things happen. Right. But some funnier. Actually, let's get to something that we didn't get to last week. But Certified Lover Boy came out last week.
Okay.
And the week before, Donda came out. BigThad, you listened to both of them. I know I'm gonna give you my opinion about it, but what are your opinion about both albums?
Look, I'm gonna say this already. I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be a probably unpopular opinion here.
Depending on what you say, depends on the drop I'm gonna put.
First of all, I haven't listened to all of Certified Lover Boy yet. I haven't listened to all of it yet. Mm-hmm. I've literally only maybe listened to 5 tracks on there. I've listened to all of Donda. Mm-hmm. Certified Lover Boy beat Donda in the first 2 tracks.
How, Sway?
The first 2 tracks.
Oh my goodness.
Certified Lover Boy. Now, don't get me wrong. Donda has a few good tracks. Mm-hmm. But Certified Lover Boy took over those 2 tracks in the first two tracks of the album. Yeah. I was ready. I was like, I had listened to, what was it? I had listened to like 2 tracks of Donda, and that was because I was on the road for something. Then I decided, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this. So I played like the first 2 tracks of CLB. And I was like, I already had it. I was like, yo, Donda already got beat. But then I listened to the rest of Donda on my way out to the beach. Uh-huh. And I was just, I forced myself to listen to it. Like literally forced myself to go all the way through. I had to force myself to go all the way through. So, yeah.
I'll say this. Certified Lover Boy had 21 tracks.
Yep.
I really only liked Fair Trade, Way Too Sexy, TSU, No Friends in the Industry, which is my favorite track on the album.
I thought it was Way Too Sexy. What happened?
Way Too Sexy is fun, but like just like the best track. Actually, Way Too Sexy is my favorite, but No Friends in the Industry is the best track in my opinion.
I know
some people say Fair Trade and Knife Talk with 21 Savage and Project Pat. So that's 1, 2.
You can't go wrong with Project Pat.
You can't.
Nah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I give a half to the song that had Jay-Z.
Okay.
And I actually like the song Fountains with Thames. The reggae song.
That's Thames.
Or Afrobeat song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thames. Hold on. Yeah. You've heard Essence.
I probably have, but
you've heard Essence.
I probably have. I just
Come
don't
on.
know. So those are the songs I like. But it had 21 songs.
Yeah.
A lot of skips, in my opinion. Donda had 27 songs. With, I think, 5 of them being part 2s because Kanye couldn't decide who he wanted, which track did he want. So he just was like, I'm about to put both of them on here.
Ridiculous.
I'll say this, though. First of all, they're 2 different albums. Certified Lover Boy is a hip-hop album.
By far.
Donda is actually a gospel album.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. We were listening, Rosie and I were listening to it on the way to work, and she's just like, And on the ride to work, we got from track 1 to track 8. And she just kind of was like, man, this feels like a church service. So then
Sunday service.
Yeah. And she's just kind of like, man. So then we started listening to it again, and she's like, yo, this is still giving me church vibes. I'm like, Rosie, it's a gospel album. And she said, oh, all right. So let me go back and listen to this. And then we sat there one night, her and Christina and I, and we actually pulled up the lyrics, and we were on YouTube, and they kind of were like, oh, this album's actually pretty good. They're like, this is like really good. And I'm like, I said, look, and this is my opinion, I still think he has way too many songs on here.
By far, yeah.
27. If he had knocked this to 10, and I'm going to tell you the songs that I could say, if he had these 10, it actually would have been a great album.
Okay,
Jail.
gotcha.
And he could have had both of them. The one with Jay-Z, the one with Marilyn Manson and the baby. Which, by the way, the one with the baby, when you really look at the lyrics, you're like, oh, snap. This is pretty good. Like, he's talking about cancel culture. He's talking about everything, the fallout from, his comments at Rolling Loud.
Right.
And then his relationship with, I can't remember that artist right now, who's pregnant right now with another, we assume another person's child because they're not together. So you could have had both of them. My favorite song though was Hurricane with The Weeknd and Lil Baby.
Of course it was. It has The Weeknd on it.
Yeah, but also the message, like, it's really good. I'm not gonna try. Let me see. Hopefully we don't get cut off for this one. I'm gonna play a little.
We're
bit.
definitely getting cut off.
See this in 3D. All lights out for me. All lights out for me. Lightning strikes the beach.
Yeah, we can't cut off. Yo, we're already getting cut off. I already know. We've already been kicked off of YouTube. Yeah, we already got cut off of YouTube.
Like that is a message. Like I was just like, that hit me right when I heard that. He's like, with God's help, like I could do anything. Like I could walk on the water. I could 1,000 miles from sea.
And we're mind you, we're getting this from the strip club and balloons and balloons and glass tables.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And then the crazy thing is the day that Sunday it dropped, it's just weird that Hurricane Ida hits Louisiana just about 16 years after Katrina. Yeah. So you got the title Hurricane, and he's just like, God don't let me drown. I know he won't, So I was just like, man, I like that song. I do like
see, I didn't go from the gospel approach.
Okay.
I didn't
because when you listen to the beats, you're like, this ain't no gospel jumbo.
I already knew. Yeah, I already kind of knew. I was like, yo, this is definitely gospel, but I'm gonna just keep it objective and I'm gonna just listen. Like just straight listen, and then I'm gonna listen to CLB, the straight listen, like because I wasn't sure what I was gonna get out of CLB if I was just gonna get an R&B album again. You know what I'm saying? So like the other albums, where everybody, how everybody is with Drake, where it's like he does all the features and rapping and all that stuff, and next they get the album and he's like R&B dude, altogether. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But, I mean, like I said, I don't think Donda's trash or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if I'm going to compare the two, CLB beat him in the first 2 tracks. That's just me. But I will listen again. I will listen again from that gospel perspective. And, like, the production Production is off the chain on that album, on Donda. Production's off the chain. Like, it just sounds great. And then now Apple got the whole Dolby whatever joint now. Yeah. So it makes it sound even better. You know what I'm saying? So, production-wise is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now actually, like, taking myself into the musical realm and just listening to everything, I probably will like it even more than I'm saying right now. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, I mean, if I'm just comparing straight 1-to-1, CLB got it.
Yeah, I would say that too. Even though I prefer Donda, even with all those tracks and me skipping, I understand why people would be like, nah, Certified Lover Boy's better. Like, and Drake now has, I think, 9 of the top 10 spots on Billboard.
Yeah, he finally beat Michael and the Beatles.
Yeah, for most songs on the billboards at the same time. So yeah, I just prefer Donda just because I just like the lyrics and the production side of it. One song I did like from Donda for sure was Jesus Lord, the one with Jay Electronica.
Yeah.
And then
I love Jay Electronica.
The part 2 has Jay Electronica and the Locks.
Oh,
that's the very last track. So I know you didn't get there.
Yeah, I didn't get to that last
it's
track.
The very last.
I didn't. I honestly didn't get
like
to
that
the
song
last
is
track.
11 minutes long, I think, because they then add the Locks on there.
Right. Yeah, I definitely didn't get to the last track. I think I got to like 24, 23. And I was like, okay, I can't take it no more right now.
Yeah.
Because of course I'm just driving, so I'm just listening, not really paying attention to words or anything. I'm just like trying to get through the album.
Other news outside of sports. Nicki Minaj is in the news. Nicki Minaj mentioned that, hey, she didn't go to the Met Gala because they're requiring vaccinations from their guests at the Met Gala. She said, I'm still doing my research on the COVID-19 vaccine. And, but for those who are not, if you're vaccinated, cool. Those who are not, make sure you social distance and, wear your mask. Then the very next tweet, she says, and let me, I wonder if the tweet is still up. Let me see if the tweet is still up. Because I know up until the other day, it was still up. She said, my cousin in Trinidad has a friend who took the vaccine and now he has swollen testicles and he's impotent and his fiance has now left him. So yeah, that's why I'm scared to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
And here it is. I'm gonna read it verbatim.
Yeah.
My cousin who has the friend. Oh, sorry, no, not that one. So she says that about the friend. Then later she says, yeah, my cousin who has the friend will do an interview to tell his story if the money is right and I'm the manager.
If
for
the
him.
money's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you serious?
So that she, obviously getting heat. She had Joy Reid of MSNBC was like, yo, that's kind of irresponsible of you to say something like that. Talking about your cousin's friend has swollen testicles due to the vaccine. I know there's some people that we know. I ain't saying no names right now because I ain't going to be messy. But some people definitely believe what Nicki Minaj said. But, other medical professions said, look, It sounds like your cousin's friend may have chlamydia. They're like swollen testicles and impotence. Sounds like chlamydia.
That don't sound like the vaccine.
Not at all. Definitely sounds
It's
like
an evil
that.
world we live in.
And her cousin's friend was doing this.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
So it got so big that even health professionals in the White House were like, nah, we need to talk to Nicki to make sure like she is a little more educated on this. But I'm gonna give a little shout out, and usually I don't give shout outs to podcasts on our major podcasts because I'm like, yo, you don't need a shout out from me. But this podcast, Extra Gravy Podcast with my guy Marlon Palmer out of Canada, Jamaican guy out of Canada. He said he believes Nicki Minaj started this controversy because over the weekend her husband was charged. Let me look up because I don't want to, I'm learning stuff in my mass media law class. I ain't trying to get a libel, a slander lawsuit here. But he's having some legal issues. As many of you all may know, he was incarcerated as a 14-year-old because he allegedly. He was, yes, I still have to say allegedly.
Yes, say allegedly.
Allegedly raped a young girl when he was 14 years old, spent 4 years in prison, and then after prison had to file for the register as a sex offender. Right. Well, the couple changed their residence to California, and he failed to register as a sex offender in California.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's
yes,
a problem
so he actually pled guilty to failure to register as a sex offender. And the reason why they came about is because of a traffic stop in California, and that's when they realized he was actually living there. Also, the alleged victim of, and his name is Kenneth Petty. The alleged victim is saying that Nicki and Petty, her husband, have been trying to basically, they offered the victim $500,000 to recant her story.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it? Really?
Yeah. So,
wow.
$500,000. And this is according to NBC News. The woman who has publicly identified herself as Jennifer Howe said in the suit that Petty and Minaj began contacting her and members of her family following his arrest in California. Now, the arrest in California occurred, let me move up. When did the arrest happen? I don't know when the arrest happened, but he's actually going to be sentenced in January for failure to register as a sex offender. But back to that paragraph, it says, following his arrest in California, the star show, Nicki Minaj offered one of Howe's family members $500,000 if Howe said the rape did not happen, according to the lawsuit. On another occasion, Howe was offered $20,000 if she signed a prepared document recanting her statements about Petty, the suit says. The fact that this woman actually is identifying herself,
right,
to me is like, yo, she's telling the truth. Man.
Oh,
this
yeah,
ain't I'm
She,
trying to be anonymous, but I'm trying to get this money.
She's grown now.
I'm like, nah,
now,
man.
And now she's also saying like, yo, they've reached out to me trying to offer me money.
And I didn't take it.
Right.
I didn't take $500,000
right,
and then
right.
try to out them.
Right.
Like, because we've seen that happen with celebrities.
Oh, yeah. But first of all, where you went wrong, Nicki, was you should have offered over $1 million.
Perfect.
Not 500,000. Are you hurting for money? Is that what's going on?
Oh man, couldn't do a payment plan.
Right.
You know, maybe 500, maybe every year. A couple,
You can't go back to Trinidad now, right? You can't do that.
Oh man,
Trying to cause Bacchanal in Trinidad. What's wrong with you?
So that's what my guy Marlon Palmer of the Extra Gravy podcast. He's like, he thinks all of this with the vaccine, and the swollen testicles of her cousin's friend is a way to deflect
from
what happened over the weekend.
Distract.
Yeah, with what's happening with her husband.
But you picked the wrong ones. Yo. How you gonna go up to Trinidad, yo?
Trinidad was just look. Her cousin's friend was minding his business.
Right.
If it's true. I don't believe her, but if it's true. Minding his business. And now the world knows he has swollen testicles.
Right.
Hilarious. Oh my goodness, man. Now we'll wrap it up here for our sports free zone. Let's get to our NFL preview. What we're going to do is actually just predict the standings in each division. Then we're going to go through who our playoff teams are going to be, predict the Super Bowl run, and some of the season awards. Big Thad, let's start with the AFC North. So those 4 teams are the Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big Thad, rank them from 4 to 1.
Ooh. From 4 to 1.
I think this division
Cleveland
is going to be interesting. I'm going to go with the Bengals, going to be 4, but they're going to be more competitive than last year.
Yeah.
Number 3, I think it's going to end up being, unfortunately, the Ravens because of how things are going with all the injuries. I just don't know. Then I'm gonna go Steelers, and then I'm gonna go Browns. I think that's how it's gonna go. What about you, Thad?
I think I'm gonna go the same route.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go the same way. I think Pittsburgh's gonna have a good season. It's gonna be close between 1 and 2 with Cleveland. So, but yeah, I'll keep Cleveland as 1 and follow suit.
Yep. Let's go to NFC North now. We have the Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings. From 4 to 1. Who you going with then?
Lions, Minnesota. Whoa, hold on. Lions, Minnesota, Chicago, Green Bay.
That is exactly the order I was going to go in. So let's just move on now to the AFC South, where we have the Houston Texans, we have the Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Tennessee Titans. I'm going with the Jaguars to be 4th, going with the Texans to be 3rd, the Colts to be 2nd, and the Titans to be 1. What about you?
I'm switching Colts and Texans.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah. Jacksonville is 4, Colts, Texans, Titans.
Okay. All right. Let's now go to the AFC East, where we have the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, the New England Patriots, and the New York Jets. 4 to 1.
I'm going Jets. Hold on, I'm missing the team. Jets. Jets, Patriots. Bills is 1. Who am I missing?
Dolphins 2.
Dolphins 2. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Dolphins is 2. Patriots is 3rd. Jets is 4th. Bills is 1.
I think it's gonna be Jets 4, Same thing. Patriots 3, Dolphins 2, Bills 1. Let's now get to the NFC East, where we have the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington football team. I am going to go with the Eagles last. Even though they were the only team in the division to win week 1, they're going to be last. Then I'm going to go New York Giants. Then I'm going to go to Washington football team and then the Dallas Cowboys, with the caveat being that the Cowboys
stays healthy.
No, the Cowboys would win due to tiebreaker.
Oh, I got you.
Not even really having a better record, but due to tiebreakers. I think it's going to come down to a week 17 where whoever win, if the Cowboys win, they're in due to a tiebreaker. And I think that's what's going to happen. What about you, Thad?
I'm going to go with Giants as 4. Eagles as 3.
Okay.
Washington 2, Dallas 1.
All right. Let's now get to the AFC West, where we have the Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, and Los Angeles Chargers.
Whew. That's a tough
That one is tough.
That's real tough.
Because whoever's in 4th, I think they could win like 6 or 7 games.
Right. I'm going to do Denver 4, Raiders 3. I'm going to still do Chargers at 2. Kansas City is 1.
So you said Chargers at 2, correct?
Yeah, Chargers at 2.
Yeah,
Kansas
I have
City
that
at
same
1.
order.
Yeah.
Denver, Raiders, or Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs in that order. And the NFC West, where we have the Arizona Cardinals, we have the Los Angeles Rams, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go. This one is tough.
Yeah, I was going to say this is tough too.
San Francisco 4th.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams.
Whew.
Yes. What about you?
That's tough. Man. I'm going to switch Seahawks and Rams.
Okay. So Seahawks 1, Rams 2.
Yeah.
All right. So we ranked all the division teams. Now let's actually rank them in playoff seeding, 7 teams out of each conference. My division winners in the North is the Browns. South, I have Titans. East, I have Bills. West, I have Kansas City. So Kansas City, I believe, is going to be the number 1 seed. I believe the number 2 seed is going to be Cleveland. I believe the number 3 seed is going to be the Titans. No, excuse me. Titans going to be the number 2 seed. Cleveland number 3. Then number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills. And now we're going to have 3 wild cards. And for my wild cards, I have the Steelers being one of them. I have the Raiders being one of them.
Okay.
And then the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
In that order.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm with you on the 4. But I want to say I think Raiders would get the last wild card.
Okay.
Dolphins. So from last wild card up, Raiders, Dolphins, Steelers. Yeah.
All right. So we both have the Chiefs having the bye.
Yep.
In the AFC West. I mean the AFC, excuse me. NFC. I have the Packers in the North. The Bucket. You know, we didn't even get to the south of the NFC. We just forgot them.
Because they're trash.
So then.
So we got Tampa as 1.
Tampa is 1.
New Orleans is 2.
2, yeah.
Who's left?
Panthers at 3, Falcons,
and Falcons
at 4.
Yeah.
So here's my teams in here's my teams in the NFC. I have the best team is going to be, I believe, the Buccaneers.
I agree.
Number 2 team, I think, is going to be the Rams. The number 3 team I have as the Packers. The number 4 team is the Dallas Cowboys. Then my wild card teams are going to be Seattle, Arizona,
Okay.
New Orleans Saints.
I actually agree with that.
So that's what I think the 7 teams in the NFC will be.
I got you. I agree with that.
So then we get to wild card round. And I wish I had written my teams down like I was supposed to.
I thought you were doing that.
I wish I'd have. So we have Kansas City with the bye.
Right.
My second place team was the Titans.
Yes.
So I think the Titans are going to face. Who was my last?
Raiders, wasn't it?
Raiders.
Yeah.
Jeez, I wish I had written this down. Or Colts. I think I said Colts.
Colts is it? Yeah, because I switched Raiders on my end.
Colts.
Yeah.
Titans versus Colts. My third team is the Browns. Browns would face the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have
Steelers.
what's the Titans, Colts? What's the other division I'm forgetting? West, South, North, East. Oh, Bills. Bills versus Steelers.
Okay.
So, and let me just write this down while we're talking. I have Chiefs 1, Titans 2. I have the Browns 3. I have 4 is the Bills. Then I have the Steelers
At 5.
Steelers at 5. I have the Dolphins at 6 and the Colts at 7.
Yeah.
Yes. And in the NFC, I have the Bucks, Rams, Packers, Cowboys. Then I have Seattle.
Right.
Then I have Cardinals.
Yep.
And then the Saints.
Yeah.
You had the same for the NFC, correct?
Yeah, I had the same for the NFC.
Right. But your AFC was Chiefs. Your AFC was Chiefs, then it was Titans, correct?
Yes.
Titans. Then for you, was it the Browns?
Browns.
Is it the Bills? You had the Bills.
I had the Bills, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
did you have the Steelers next?
I did have Steelers next.
Okay. Your difference was the flop between the Colts and the Dolphins, right?
Yes, yeah, that was the
Okay.
difference right there.
So
yeah.
that's what you had. You had Colts and then Dolphins. And then we were both the same in the NFC. See how we're working teamwork right here on the live stream.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
So, Thad, you have in your wild card round, you have the Titan or Dolphins at Titans.
Yeah.
So Miami at Tennessee.
I'm gonna give that. Just go ahead and give that to the Titans.
All right. Tennessee. You also have Browns. I'm sorry. You have Colts
Yeah.
at Browns.
And
you have the Browns. And then we have Bills or Steelers at Bills.
Oh, that's tough. Rematch. Third match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Bills.
All right. Buffalo is your there. For me, my matchup is this one. And let me get things together. Bear with us if you're watching the live stream or watching on the replay. I know we have some dead time on this, but just bear with us as we do this.
Yeah. Just you know what I'm saying? We're just getting our brackets together.
Yeah.
You know, after with the beginning of week 2. With currently the Washington football team down by 7.
Down by 7. I kind of saw that there was some injuries or something.
I think Ionitis and something else and somebody else. But yeah, second quarter.
I just got an update from Yahoo. Y'all are in the red zone.
Yeah,
because I have Antonio Gibson on my fantasy team. Talk about growth. I would have never had a Washington player on my fantasy team. Never.
Yeah, that's growth. That's growth.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
That is growth. All right, so I have Saints at Rams for my matchup. I then have we have Cardinals at Packers.
Okay.
And then I have Seattle at Dallas in my NFC.
Okay.
And I believe LA Rams would win. I also think Green Bay will win.
Okay.
And I do believe the Dallas Cowboys can win.
I'm going to go with Seattle on that one.
All right.
For some reason, Seattle and the NFC East, for some reason, always meet up. And for some reason, we mess up.
Well, I mean, last time the Cowboys won a playoff game, it was against Seattle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it in Dallas or was it in?
It was in Dallas last time.
It was in Dallas.
We played them. So you have that same matchup.
Yeah, I have that same matchup, but I'm going with Seattle.
All right, then we get to the divisional round.
Who we got?
So in you would have Buffalo playing against Kansas City. Who's going to win
Buffalo,
that one?
Kansas City, Kansas City.
All right. Then you'll have Cleveland at Tennessee.
That's going to be tough. But you know what? They're on the up and up. I'm going to go with the Browns.
All right. Then in the NFC, you have Seattle at Buccaneers. Who would win that one?
Buccaneers.
Okay. Then you have Green Bay at Rams.
See, this is a tough one right here. But I'm going to say Green Bay.
Okay. Then for my AFC Divisional Round, and I have all those teams actually winning in that order, the same that you have. I have Kansas City beating Buffalo, and then I have Tennessee beating Cleveland. So in the AFC Championship game, I have Tennessee at the Chiefs. You would have Cleveland at the Chiefs.
Right.
So I believe Kansas City is going to win.
Yep. Down with that.
You have Kansas City winning also. When we move to the NFC for the divisional round,
You got Cowboys.
I have Cowboys facing Tampa Bay.
Right.
And I think,
For the rematch.
yes, I think the Cowboys are going to lose the divisional round. And then I have Green Bay at the Rams. And I think Green Bay is going to win.
Okay.
So then my matchup in the championship in the NFC. Who was in your divisional round? Your divisional round was Seattle at Buccaneers. Who would win that game?
Seattle at Buccaneers?
Yeah.
Buccaneers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you also had Green Bay at LA.
And Green Bay.
You had Green Bay winning.
Yeah.
So we both have Green Bay and the
Tampa.
Bucks in the NFC Championship game.
Right.
I think Green Bay is going to win.
Can't go against the millennial goat. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay on this one.
So for you have a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, Bucks and Chiefs.
Yeah.
I
didn't even realize that. Yeah.
I have Packers and Chiefs.
Okay.
So before we get to our Super Bowl predictions, who's going to be the comeback player of the year?
Comeback player of the year. I'm going to go with Dak. Be honest with you.
I think the easy one is Dak because of the injury last year.
Yeah.
But you can't sleep on Jameis Winston. I think he's going to be.
Is it really going to be called a comeback player of the year for that, though?
Yeah.
Because he did play last season.
Yeah, but he also, missed a large portion of it.
Yeah, because of the backup.
Hold on. Oh, who are you talking about? You talking about Jameis?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I think Jameis is going to be in a run because he lost his job and now he got a starting job. But ultimately, I think Dak's going to win because of the injury he had last year.
Yeah.
But Jameis is
that's
going
what
to
I'm
be
saying. Like Jameis, I don't even know if he's going to be in the running.
Yeah.
Really,
I know. Typically,
I don't know if anybody's going to see that as a comeback though.
I remember Chad Pennington had that comeback, but then he had an injury too.
Because even Jameis, did he get released in Tampa?
Yes, they didn't.
Was that what it was? They
didn't,
released it, or he didn't?
They didn't. I think was it the 5th year option? They didn't pick it up.
Okay.
So then he became a free agent.
They could have signed him back.
Yeah, they could have.
They could have, but then Tom came.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could really say comeback really because it's only really because Breeze retired. You know what I'm saying? And plus he did play last season because
spot duty,
because of spot duty and then the injury to Breeze.
Well, remember Taysom Hill,
but Taysom Hill did play too. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's ultimately going to be Dak, but
yeah. I mean, if there's guidelines for comeback player of the year, then definitely is Dak. You know what I'm saying?
Defensive rookie of the year, who is going to be?
Ooh. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one because, to be honest with you, I can't even think of a defensive rookie right now.
Oh, man. I think it's going to either be...
What's the cornerback from Alabama? They got drafted.
I can't remember. Not Surtain. Was it Surtain?
Surtain, was it?
Yeah.
Was Surtain?
Yeah,
I'll put him there.
I think it's going to be him or Micah Parsons, one of them.
Yeah.
Offensive rookie of the year, I think it's going to end up being...
Mac? Or a running back?
If Justin Fields actually gets on the field quickly, it's going to be him.
I got you.
But if Mac Jones ends up starting 16 games and we get only 8 out of Justin Fields has to get or 17 games, I forgot. Justin Fields has to get
8 or 9?
13 to really have a shot at rookie of the year.
Yeah, because Mac is going to be playing all 17.
Yeah. So the caveat for me would be if Justin Fields gets 13, I think he'll get it. If not, it's going to be Mac Jones.
I got you.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I was thinking Mac. I can't think of a running back right now. Yeah, I'm thinking Mac. And then possibly Miami wide receiver, Waddle.
That's what's up.
I think that really depends on how good Miami is this season.
Offensive. So we already just said that. Defensive player of the year. I am going to go, and it seems like a lazy pick, but I'm going to go
why does dude sending us pictures of him up in the nosebleeds?
I mean, he's at the game. First big game back. You know, he gets to see his big blue. Tickets were probably cheap.
Of course they're cheap. It's on the nosebleeds.
FedEx Field. It wasn't a sellout, so he probably just bought some tickets at face value. Jeez. You know, it's his favorite team. You know, we're talking about our cousin Roman, who's a huge Giants fan, so he gets to see his Giants play. You know,
has he ever seen them win a championship?
Yeah, he saw 2 of them.
Was he young?
I mean, he's still young, but he saw 2 of them.
Yeah, he was probably
old enough to remember them.
4 or 5 years old.
Nah, he wasn't that young. He was old enough to remember them.
What was that, 2012?
2007, and so he was 6.
See, 4 or 5. 6.
And then 2011, he was 10.
6 and 10. There you go. I mean,
So he got the 6 or 10, or it might have been 5 and 9.
See, there you go.
I can't remember what year he was born. If it was 2001 or 2002.
He damn sure ain't remember the first one.
Oh man! So the family got connections in New York, so I give him a little. I mean, you know me, I'm a fan of the Cowboys. So I don't deal it just on geography, but he legit has connections to New York. You know.
But I'm damn sure ain't getting those seats, yo. Not happening. Not happening by any means. Yo, I seen.
For me, it's COVID. There's too many people.
Nah, I mean, even if COVID wasn't here, I'm still not getting in those seats.
I would see that. I've been in plenty of Cowboys games and sat that high because I was like, yo, this is the Cowboys. I'm obviously far away from Texas, so I was like, let me see them when they come on the East Coast. It's easier for me to go to a game here and a game in Philly or a game in New York before I get to Texas.
But see, I'm still not sitting in the nosebleeds, son. It's not happening, bro.
Oh man.
Like I've sat in nosebleeds. Look, I've sat in nosebleeds at RFK and at FedEx.
Oh, FedEx is definitely higher, man.
RFK,
you were further away from the field,
but you were still
you weren't
good.
as high.
No, you weren't as high, and you could still see everything good. You know what I'm saying? Even though you were that far.
Yeah.
FedEx is even look, even nosebleeds at RFK was an atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? It was just an atmosphere. Like your back is up against the foundation of the building pretty much, and you're feeling it all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like even FedEx, even I sat in the nosebleeds up there, and I'm like, nah, I'll never do this again.
FedEx,
like,
you're high in that.
You know what I'm saying? But then again, there's other points in the stadium where I seen somebody on my Facebook, and they're literally put a video up of them at the game, and they're like behind one of the end zones. So you're facing your screen right now. All right. You're at your left side of the screen is the left side of the end zone. Like he was slightly over to the right of that left side of the end zone watching it. And then like the touchdown that Heineke threw to Logan, you see him pan to the joint and he's a pillar. Like a concrete pillar.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the obstructed view seats.
Like dog.
On the roadside line. I know what you're talking about.
I was
around.
I was
goes
like,
around. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He literally turned the joint and literally there's a wall sitting there and a pillar. And you can't see the other half of the end zone.
I unfortunately.
And I'm like, nah, bro. There's no way I'm sitting. There's no way I'm spending money to sit in that seat right there. Not happening. That shouldn't even be a seat right there.
So this is the thing.
Two seats over, you could see the whole end zone.
Yes.
From where he was sitting. Literally 2 seats over, just from how he panned. You could tell that 2 seats over from where he was at, and he was standing, mind you. He wasn't sitting, he was standing. 2 seats over from where he was at, he could have seen the whole play. And I'm like, yo, why would you even have those seats right there?
I know exactly what you're talking about. So we bought, it was me and my boy Trey, shout out to him again. One year, it was 2008, Cowboys, Washington, and it was a Sunday night game. Tony Romo just came back from his broken pinky on his throwing hand. And we bought tickets because they were cheap. Ended up being like, I think we paid like $70 for each ticket.
Okay.
But it was in that obstructed view. And on the ticket, they get a warning, obstructed view. And then the fine print says, if you are, because that's the 200 section. If you're anywhere from row A to, I think, J or K, you can see the whole field, like good.
Right.
And you can see, like, if kicks are up, you can see the ball in the air. It's when you get after, like, row J or K, where it's like, if there's a high pass or a kick, you can't see the ball. Yeah. You gotta wait for it to come back down.
It's ridiculous.
And then you have those situations with the pillars, depending on where you are.
Right.
A pillar could be right there. You could just miss a part of the play.
You watching concrete.
That was because Jack Kent Cook, back in those days, they still had obstructed view stadiums. Back in those days. So, yeah. And then they jammed more seats in there.
Right. Just because
if you're behind, you got to look up at the TV that's sitting above you. There's a TV that'll be above you.
What?
Yeah, to see like so you're watching like the television and then the field at the same time.
Wow.
So yeah, man. But yeah, man. If you want to go see his favorite team, let's get back to the preview. That was a great detour about stadium, our experiences at stadiums, football stadiums. Offensive player of the year. Who's going to be Thad?
Offensive player of the year. Man. Oh, that's a tough one. Like, I kind of want to say, like, Alvin Kamara.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Either Alvin Kamara or Antonio Brown for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I just see something weird happening with Antonio Brown just going ham this season.
My offensive player of the year is going to be Dak Prescott.
Okay.
He's going to be offensive player of the year again also.
And comeback player of the year.
Comeback player of the year. That's who's going to be. Coach of the year, Thad. Who's going to be?
Coach of the year. I want to say he's going to be the coach of the Chargers.
Ooh, the new head coach, is it? I can't remember his name.
See?
Is it like Brandon Staley or something like that?
Yeah, it was Staley. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Coach of the year, I think, is going to be Sean Payton. He's going to show that he can still get this team to the postseason without Drew Brees. Yeah.
You know what?
That's
I said something to somebody because he was like, Jameis Winston. Oh my God! Like, this is crazy that he would have a good game like this. And I'm like, Jameis wasn't that bad. He just threw a lot of interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis really wasn't that bad. But then again,
it was like Brett Favre.
Yeah, but now you got to think about it. He's in a system that is geared for any type of quarterback. Like, any quarterback could come to the Saints right now and be fine because you have all that running behind you. Mm-hmm. Good runners, not just Kamara. You got the other one. And you just have a system that's made for a quarterback to be successful. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the way people are reacting about Jameis right now, I'm just kind of like, Jameis wasn't that bad. He just wasn't that bad. The way for everybody to be like, yo, I can't believe he's playing like this. Like, Jameis really wasn't that bad. Then again, those Tampa teams weren't really that good either. But
yeah.
Nah.
And they and then they just got Tom Brady, so it was an upgrade that way. And it's just like, but that team was the same.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. MVP. Who you got then?
MVP. I don't think it's gonna be Lamar. I'm going to go off. I think it's going to be Kyler Murray.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's interesting. I believe MVP is going to end up being like Patrick Mahomes again.
I was going to say him, but I was like, you know what? Let me just go off.
Yeah, I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes. And I know someone's going to sit here and say, how can you have Dak Prescott as the offensive player of the year and someone else as MVP? I believe they'll just have so much more wins. But the offensive numbers, though, would look better with Dak Prescott's offensive numbers will just look better. So that's what I believe will happen. All right, let's get to the Super Bowl. Bucks versus Patriots. I mean, Bucks versus Chiefs. Excuse me.
Bucks versus Chiefs.
Bucks versus Chiefs. Who you have winning?
I want to go against the millennial goat. Yeah, I'm gonna say the millennial goat's gonna get another one, and then retire.
I have I have Chiefs and Packers.
Oh, that's right. You have Chiefs and Packers. Yeah, that's right.
And I have the Chiefs winning that.
Yeah.
I don't think Packers defense could last.
No.
Especially
after the Saints game.
Yeah, that's what I have. So those are predictions for the NFL season. Hope you all enjoyed those predictions. Before we get out of here, Big Thad, any shout outs to anyone?
You see Roman's Jamaican coming out saying that he said Daniel Jones is faster than Sha'Carri Richardson.
Oh, perfect.
Shout out to the fam, our cousins and whatnot, acting fool. Our fantasy league has started again. So,
yep.
It's looking a little weird right now, but I think it's gonna be a good season. I think
I went undefeated in all 5 of my leagues.
That's dope.
First time that has ever happened.
Yeah,
where I had like more than 3 leagues and I went undefeated.
Yeah, I played in another one and I won my other one, so I'm at 500 right now.
Okay.
I'm at 500. Yeah. So, but other than that, I'm good, man. That's it.
Yep. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you all enjoyed the extended episode, especially since we've been gone for a while. Shout out to Other Side of Sports. I was on there a couple weeks ago, and I will be on there to at least give my picks, because we pick against the spread over there at OSS 980. So I think we have $200 gift card to a last year I believe it was a steakhouse, and I think they're gonna do the same thing. So we're all chipping in $50. Whoever wins gets the $200 gift card. I'm leading so far after week 1. I was 11-5.
Okay.
The next person was 9-7.
Okay.
So I got a 2-game lead, but it's only week 1 out of 18 weeks. So
yeah.
Oh, gotta keep it up.
18 weeks?
Yep. There's 17 games, 18 weeks. You get the bye.
Oh yeah.
It really should be 19 weeks. They look. Honestly, they should have just.
What's
I know they want
to.
They should have just kept it at 16 because it's perfect with the schedule. To give 18 weeks. You get 2 buys.
Yeah.
They did that 1 year back in 93. But they did 2 bye weeks and then only 1 week between the Super Bowl. I was like, no, the NFL is the NFL. We don't care that it goes to the second week of February.
Right. Nobody. I mean, why even have the Pro Bowl anymore? Like, just give it up. Like, we don't care about that.
We don't
just
care.
have a skills competition or something like that, and then be done.
Yeah. So
have a Pro Bowl game where you can't hit nobody.
So yeah, man. I think it just should be 16 games with 18 weeks. So you have 2 bye weeks. Teams will be healthier. People don't mind having an extra week of regular season games.
Yeah.
People don't mind that. No one really knows the difference when there's 16 or 12 games on the schedule. No one really recognizes that bad or that much, Anyway, shout out to OSS 980. Shout out to Shut Your Face. Shout out to 4th and 13 podcast. Shout out to all of our faithful listeners out there. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast where podcasts are available. That includes Anchor, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. Also, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch live or on demand at any time. Until next time, everyone, sports reality. Peace.